going on, everybody? Check out these beautiful pine trees. This beautiful little church here. I'm in the nice little town of San Cristobal de las Casas in the state of Chiapas in Mexico. Definitely enjoying my time here. And a few days ago, I actually got an email from a gentleman named Mr. Willoughby. He's an English gentleman, and he sent me a couple of video ideas, and one of them I thought was actually a very good idea. So I decided to make a video on it. So here I am. I'm going to discuss how to travel minimally, how to travel lightly, because one of the things that he mentioned in his email was that you know, he likes to travel, this and that, and he's been all around, but one thing that he hates is lugging around all these suitcases and, you know, bags with him and everything. And I hear you, man. I hear you, man. Now let me just give you guys a little intro real quick as to my thought on travel. I'm 30 years old now. Since I was the age of 20 for the last 10 years, I've been traveling on a fairly regular basis. Like, I was a cross-country truck driver, so I was always traveling, always on the road. I've moved to different cities and states all over the country, you know, Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Maine, Maryland, and other places in between. I traveled to Thailand. I lived in Phnom Penh, Cambodia for 2 years. I traveled all throughout Cambodia. Now I'm here in Mexico, traveling all around Mexico. And all this time, I've been traveling out of one backpack. One backpack. Now, I know I've been talking a little shit about my distaste for backpackers, but there's a difference between traveling as a minimalist and being a fucking dirty foot, poopy butt, pimple face having, toe jam having fucking backpacker. But that's for a different, that's for another video. I'm a minimalist, meaning I don't like to travel with a bunch of shit. So without further ado, I've made a list of 11 essential items that I believe you should take with you to make the most out of your travel abroad. The most out of your travel abroad. So let's get to it. Without further ado, number one, and this is the most obvious one, of course, your passport and a copy of your passport. A passport, another piece of paper with a copy on it, won't take up much room at all. Common sense, obviously. Moving on. Number two, this is actually a good one, and a lot of people overlook this shit, but it also doesn't take up, it takes up hardly any room because it's just a piece of paper. A list of locations and contact information for important places such as the embassy of the country that you're from. So if you're from the United States, try to find out where the closest American embassy is, the phone number, the email, so on and so forth, and that goes for any country, right? Another idea would be, you know, airports, train stations, bus stations, things like that. Important places that you might need on a whim. You need to know how to get there. You need to know where they are. Pardon me. You need to know where to, how to contact them. As well as some emergency contacts on your end. So like your family, your friends, your significant other, just whatever, just in case. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? And that's a very good saying too. Number three, a map of the area or country that you're going to. Now that might seem obvious too, man, but a lot of people overlook that shit. And you might be thinking, oh well, hey man, I have my iPhone here with Google Maps on it. Oh, do you? Oh, that's great. Well, what if you don't have fucking internet, dude? Then what? Oh yeah, you need a map. Another good thing about a map is that if you're in the town that you're going to, the city or whatever, and you're kind of lost and you don't quite understand the map, you can ask a local. You can go up to a local, point at a spot on a map, maybe a street name or whatever, and most likely they'll be able to help you get there. So a map is always good, and again, a map is what? It's a big old piece of paper. How much room does that take up? You know, hardly anything. Let's see here, blah, 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 blah. A language book or phrase book of the local language in which the place you're going to. Or Google Translate. Google Translate. And the reason I stress Google Translate is because there's a lot of languages that you can't really sound out in English. You know, before I moved to Cambodia years ago, I wanted to learn how to speak some Khmer, at least just, you know, how to count, basic phrases, things like that, which, fair enough, right? But you can't read it in English. Like, you have to hear how it sounds to learn it. Trust me. The same would be with most other Asian languages, probably Arabic, you know, other things like that. So the cool thing about having the Google Translate app on your phone is that type it in English or whatever your native language is, and it'll actually have it'll have the actual voice say the thing in Khmer that you need, so you can play it for somebody. Now, if you don't have the internet where you are, that sucks. So try to practice on Google Translate before you go, and try to memorize how to say at least some important things like where is this, you know, how to count, numbers, things of that nature. Let's see here. Yeah, and it's a book, so how much room does that really take up, right? Alright, now to the more critical shit. A backpack. Now, I'm not talking about a poopy butt, fucking dreadlock wearing, you know, toe jam having backpacker style backpack where it's 5 feet fucking long. And I'm also not talking about a high school backpack for your textbooks and a goddamn banana. I'm talking about like a medium-sized military-style backpack, preferably with carabiners on the back of it to carry like shoes, canteens, things of that nature. And if you don't know what carabiners are, they're like little clips that like rock climbers use, hikers use, and it's good to have on your backpack to save room inside your backpack for like shoes, canteens, etc. Things like that, right? Or to let shit dry. Like if you have a wet pair of socks that you just washed, or underwear. I know it might look kind of gross, but if you're traveling around being a minimalist, you know, you gotta be minimal. The Army surplus store is your friend. The Army surplus store is your friend. You know, there's a reason that the military devise ways for infantry soldiers to travel as minimalist or as utilitarian as possible, right? It's to get the most out of what you have, to travel lightly. So Army surplus stores are your friend. They have high quality, very durable stuff like backpacks. The backpack I have, I got at an Army surplus store in Atlanta, Georgia, over 10 years ago. I mean, I'm not saying it's in mint condition now, but it still does the job. I mean, it's a very high quality, durable backpack because it's military grade. You know, they'll have all kinds of stuff there, like camelbacks, canteens, quality socks, you know, cloths, hats, things like that. So definitely check out Army surplus store and try to find some good gear there that's affordable and minimal. Another one, first aid kit. Again, seems obvious, but a lot of people overlook that shit, and then they have to go to the doctor, they have to go to a pharmacy or drugstore just to get a fucking band-aid. Obviously, you want to keep it small. I would suggest things like, of course, bandages, gauze wrap, Neosporin, some isopropyl alcohol pads, things of that nature, just like to clean a cut, cover a cut, heal a burn, things like that. You guys get what I'm saying. Keep it small. Keep it small. And obviously, like your toiletries, like toothbrush, you know, tissues, maybe some soap, well, hopefully soap, you know, things like that, just to keep yourself clean, maybe some Q-tips. And if you use common sense, that should not take up much room, right? So your basic toiletries, hygiene materials. Another big one, another tool that I actually don't have right now. I actually don't have one right now, but I wish I did, and I'm used to having one, is a quality knife. Now, obviously, if you're going on an airplane or whatever, you can't take a knife on there, but once you get to your country, you're going to be traveling through, you need to get one ASAP. And I would suggest two types of knives, if possible. I would suggest either a straight blade or folded knife, with a blade, you know, at least 3 to 4 inches, with a serrated blade, a serrated edge. So you want one smooth side, you want a nice pointy puncturing knife as well, and you also want the serrated, which is kind of like a saw blade, because they serve different functions, right? And it's also good to get like a Swiss Army knife as well. They got corkscrews, you know, fucking nail cleaners, little pair of scissors. It's kind of like an all-in-one type of knife. Doesn't take up much room at all. The cool thing about knives is that it's good to obviously cut things, right? To cut things, to pry things open, to puncture things, to clean your fingernails, to peel fruit, peel vegetables, and obviously for self-defense. Not only against people, but against dogs, right? Against maybe other animals that are trying to fuck with you. So definitely a knife, especially as a tool, right? So think about that. Another thing would be a multi-purpose cloth. since I lived in Cambodia, I've been carrying my krong ma everywhere, which is essentially like a very lightweight scarf, and it's a multi-purpose cloth, right? You want something that's lightweight but sturdy at the same time. You want something that's easy to clean and dry, and I would say roughly 3 feet or 1 meter long and 1/2 meter wide, about 1.5 feet wide. Basically about the size of like a bathroom towel, but something super thin, so something that can dry easily. The uses of this can range from sunblock, you can put it over your head and then put a hat on, right, to act as like a sunblock, which I've done plenty of times. You can use it as a sack or a bag to carry things, a washcloth, a towel, a fly swatter actually, or mosquito swatter, right? You can smash some bugs up with it. You can make just like some makeshift pants, like to cover yourself if you don't have a pair of pants, like they're drying or whatever, you're washing them, or just whatever else you can think of. Another thing is a fanny pack or a waist pack, just like I have right here. You see that right there? See that right there? You can keep everything together in one spot, especially if you're traveling and you're on the go a lot. I'm not sure about you, but I hate having a bunch of little things in my pockets. I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I'm unorganized. The thing I love about a fanny pack is that you can have everything you want organized right there. It's all right on your waist. Now, you can carry things like money, camera, documents, chapstick, your phone. You'll be more comfortable and organized, like I said, but you're gonna look a little bit less cool. You're gonna take some cool points away, but your functional and organized points are gonna go way up, and your comfortable points are gonna go way up. Alright, so definitely get a fanny pack. I think they're fucking awesome, dude. As far as clothes go, I mean, this is gonna vary from person to person, but again, we're thinking about being minimal here, about carrying less, right? Three shirts, right? 2 pants or shorts. The rest you can buy abroad for cheap. I would say 3 to 5 pairs of socks, because if you get like some, like you're doing a lot of walking around or traveling, if your feet get sweaty and you don't change your socks and put on some dry socks rather, you are going to get a blister or a corn. That happened to me in Phnom Penh. I had to get surgery on it. It sucked. So definitely keep your feet dry or your socks dry and fresh. Very important. And 3 to 5 pairs of underwear as well, because you don't want poopy butt, right? You don't want fucking grunt stains and skid marks on your underwear for 3 fucking days. And the cool thing about socks and underwear is that the fabric is very light and thin, and you can easily wash them in the sink or shower, let them dry in your room overnight, and then you're good. You're good. Essential electronics, for sure, obviously like your phone, your headphones, your laptop, flash drives, SD cards to store information, right? Your camera, if that's what you're into, and a flashlight as well. Flashlight always comes in handy. Obviously, try to keep it small, of course. And also a portable charger is good. And of course, don't forget your chargers, like your actual cord chargers. That's pretty much everything I've got down. I think that was actually 12 things. Let me check my time. Yeah, this video's gone on a bit long now. I think I've said enough, but guys, travel lightly, travel as a minimalist. That's what I have to say. All you should need is one mid-sized backpack that you get at an army surplus store. I've been doing it for about 10 years now, never gone wrong. And anything that you think you might need aside from what I said abroad, just get it abroad. Just get it abroad, and I guarantee it's going to be way cheaper. Alright, because it sucks to have to carry around 3-4 fucking bags that are heavy, and plus you look like kind of an idiot. If you're just one person and you have 3-4 bags with you, you kind of look gluttonous and greedy anyway, so keep that in mind. Anyways, guys, my Instagram, @BraytonHoward, I'll put that in the description box below, the actual web link. You guys can DM me, follow me, and if you guys have a page worth following as well, then I'll follow you, and I'll say what's up. We can share ideas, thoughts, pictures, all that type of shit. And as always, guys, my email address, nojokestriking@gmail.com. Bitches. Alright, you guys can send me video ideas, questions on life. I'll try to do a video on it, or send you a brief answer over email. Please keep it to 3 paragraphs or less, guys. All that will be in the description box and comment section below. I hope this video helps some people out. Peace!